Once again, good morning everybody. So for this day, we're going to have a review in our previous lessons in preparation for your midterm exam. Okay, so kindly watch the video and then listen at the same time. Okay, so are you ready? So we have here number one, blank lives in the desert. So what do you think is a plant that can live in the desert? We have cactus, right? This is based on your activities before. So cactus lives in the desert. So these are just some few questions that I will be asking during your midterm exam. Okay, so kindly take note because later on you're going to write this one in your notebook and then write the answer at the same time. So in number two, plants are blank. Plants are blank because they use the energy from the sun to make their own food. Plants are blank because they use the energy from the sun to make their own food. So what are plants actually? So plants are autotrophs. Plants are autotrophs. Autotrophs meaning these are green plants that use the energy of the sun to make their own food or to process their food, called glucose or starch. Okay, so plants are autotrophs because they use the sun or the energy from the sun to process their own food. Number three, we have here a diagram that shows the relationship between the producer and the consumers. So we have here the plant as our producer because it produces food for the animals. And the animals here we have rat, snake, and eagle. These are the consumers. Consumers in the sense that they are they are the one who eat the producer. Okay? So the rat or the mouse eat the plant. The snake eat the rat and the eagle eat the snake. So let's have the statement in number three. A blank shows the relationship between consumers and producers. So producers are plants, consumers are animals. Okay, so a blank shows the relationship between the consumers and producers. So what is this? It's food chain. So a food chain shows the relationship between consumers and producers. Okay, number four. Animals and humans are blank because they depend on plants and other animals for food. Animals are and humans are blank because they depend on plants and other animals for food. What do you think? They are omnivores. Okay? So yes, it's true. Animals and humans are omnivores because they depend or they eat plants and meat. Okay, so animals and humans are omnivores because they can eat both plants and animals. Number five, so they eat plants only. So what are these? What kind of living things that eats plants only, or animals that eat plants only, I should say? If omnivores, these are animals that can eat both plants and animals. How about animals that eat plants only? These are herbivores. Okay, so herbivores are animals that eat plants only. And then animals that eat plants and other animals. Okay, again, these are omnivores. And how about animals that eat animals only, or they are meat eaters? They only eat meat. These are carnivores. Okay, so we have three groups of animals. We have carnivores, herbivores, and omnivores. Herbivores, these are animals that eat plants. Carnivores, these are animals that eat meat or animals only. And we have omnivores, these are animals that can eat both animals and plants. Okay? Okay, we have here number 8. Bacteria and fungi are called blank. So how do we call bacteria and fungi? We call them as decomposer because they break down the dead body of a living things. Okay, so bacteria and fungi are called decomposer. They live on the dead body of a living thing. And number 9, we have here an example of a food chain. So again, this is a producer and the consumers. So, okay, I will explain it to you. Once the eagle will die, we have the so-called decomposers. Okay, and what are the decomposers again? These are fungi and bacteria. So going back, if the eagle will die, its body will be decomposed and it will be break down into by the bacteria or fungi. Mushrooms can grow on their dead body and bacteria also can live on their dead body. Okay, so the statement here, blank are another group of organisms at the end of each food chain. So at the end of the food chain, we have here the decomposer. Decomposers are fungi or bacteria. Okay, so the decomposers are another group of organisms at the end of food chain. And number 10, we have a blank is formed when two or more food chains are linked up. Link up meaning being joined. Okay, so a blank is formed when two or more food chains are linked up. So as you can see in the diagram below, there are two or more food chains being joined together. Okay, so if you are going to join two food chains, that means you are linking them up, and that is what you call food web. Okay, food web. Therefore, a food web is formed when two or more food chains are linked up or being joined together. The diagram below shows the example of food web. So that's all about your review for today. And now let's do your activity. Okay, so kindly write and complete the statements on your notebook. So this will serve as your review also, because on next meeting, I will be giving your midterm exam. Okay, so kindly write and then complete the statements on your notebook. At the same time, you're going to read it at home. Okay, so number 1, blank lives in the desert. Number 2, plants are blank because they use the energy from the sun to make their own food. Number 3, a blank shows the relationship between consumers and producers. Number 4, animals and humans are blank because they depend on plants and other animals for food. Okay, so kindly complete the following statements and then try to read and understand. Okay, so because this following statements will be coming out during your midterm examination. Okay, so let's proceed to number 5. They eat plants only. So what are these? What are these kinds of animals that eat plants only? They eat plants and other animals. What are these? Number 7, they eat animals only. Bacteria and fungi are called blank. So how do we call bacteria and fungi? Number 9, blank are another group of organisms at the end of each food chain. So how do we call the other group of organisms at the end of each food chain? And number 10, a blank is formed when two or more food chains are being joined together or linked up. So when are we going to join two food chains? How do we call that one? So these are the 10 statements that you need to write on your notebook. So kindly write this one and then complete the statements. Okay? So next meeting, I will be giving you now your midterm examination. Okay, class? So I hope everything is clear. But if in case you have any question about our activity for today or about your exam, kindly message me right away, okay? So that's all for today and thank you for listening.